Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us over your lunch hour today for another one of our WESC webinars. My name is Lola Adebogun, and I am WESC Marketing and Admin Assistant. Today, we have Ashu John, founder of the AHAN Foundation, presenting on work-life satisfaction. If you have any questions for Ashu as we go through the presentation, please feel free to submit them in the Q&A box, not the regular chat box. However, do feel free to use the regular chat box to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business. And as always, this webinar is being recorded and will be available for on-demand viewing. You'll receive an email around this time tomorrow with a link to the recording. And with that, I'll pass it over to you to now begin the presentation, Ashu.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to this webinar hosted by WESC. My name is Ashu John. I am the founder director, the AHAN Foundation, and a school principal of St. Mary's Christian School in India. So, since a long time, like since 1.5 years almost, we have been confined to our homes, of course, for our safety, and then the workload doesn't seem to go down. So, as before, it was a problem to manage and have satisfaction, what you do at work and what you do at home. This lockdown or this stay at home kind of setting has made it even worse. And today I'm here to talk about and then share my views and opinions, my ideas, which might help you to have a healthy satisfaction between your work life and your professional life in a work from home atmosphere. So here I'm going to present my screen. I will ask you a lot of questions in between, and feel free to answer it in the question and answer box so that we can take and we can discuss it at the end of the webinar. And if during the webinar, like if you have any comments, if you have any things that you want me to know, please mention it in the chat box. So just a quick review. Lola, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see this. We can see the screen.
Okay, thank you so much. So starting with the title of the webinar, specifically I chose a man here because it is assumed that work-life balance or work-life satisfaction should be attained by female, or females are the ones who want to maintain a healthy balance between their work and between their life. Talking today, what I'm going to discuss is same for men and women. And one little thing that I want you to change about thinking about work-life balance is not to think to maintain a balance between work and life, but to aim at a satisfaction between work and life. You know why? Because sometimes our work might require that extra attention from us, and sometimes our family or us or our life requires extra attention, extra nurturing from us. So if we are aiming to have a balance, then there can be a stress, there can be a struggle, and we can tip the balance off. So what we have to instead aim at is work-life satisfaction. So in the webinar today, we are going to discuss about a life assessment tool. I mean, how you can assess your life, whether it is going as you wanted to or not, need of having satisfaction between work and life, causes of work-life dissatisfaction. Why do we feel dissatisfied? Why do we feel that we are lacking that balance? Benefits of work-life satisfaction, factors affecting our satisfaction towards work and life, 6 components of work-life balance, how to achieve it, how to remain calm while working from home, 6 ways to improve our balance or our satisfaction, and the art of work-life satisfaction. My first question to you is, what does it mean to have a satisfied life? What is satisfaction according to you? We all have different goals in life. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's, the end goal that we are aiming at, that is different. Different things give us satisfaction. For you, what are the parameters that give you satisfaction in your life? Feel free to mention your comments in the chat box, or feel free to, drop it in the Q&A. Yes, so it is happy with what you have. This is what Rishu has to say. Anyone else wants to add to it? What does it mean to have a satisfied life? For me, a satisfied life means waking up with a smile and going to bed with a smile. Catherine says, being able to do what I want and the need and be fulfilled. And Mary says, spend more time with family. Definitely. So, yes, spending more time with family. So, different things give us satisfaction in a different degree. And I'm glad that you have shared. For me, it is, I am able to wake up with a smile and I am able to go to bed with a smile, because the 24 hours in between, how I choose to spend my day, that time, every one of us is struggling. Our struggles might be different, our challenges might be different, our, the access to the opportunities that we have, it might be different, the family structure can be different. But one thing, what we can do is like choosing to smile at the beginning of the day and choosing to smile at the end of the day, having gratitude that we have what we have. So thank you. And moving on, for more than a year, people are struggling with dissatisfaction with life around the globe. And people are tending towards dissatisfaction. They have skewed emotions, focusing on negative past and being, anxious about the uncertain future. So what has given this rise to this dissatisfaction? First of all, staying indoors, chronic inactivity and poor nutrition, job dissatisfaction, relationship challenges, irregular sleep, excess drinking, or drugs. So these are the things, isolating oneself. These are the things which make us unhappy, dissatisfied with the kind of life that we are leading right now. And this is what is steering us towards dissatisfaction. So when we talk about having satisfaction or having a balance between work and life, these are the components that involve that. First of all, our career. Is our career going in the way that we wanted to? What about our health? What about the money? What about the vacation that I always wanted to take? If I'm an entrepreneur, what about my business? What about the friend? What about my workplace? What about my family? And in middle of all these, where am I? What about me? So these are the components that we need to address, that we need to, take in our hands to ensure that we are leading a balanced and a satisfied life, whether it is professional or whether it is personal. And again, for different people, different things have different meaning, and they get their satisfaction, they derive their energy, they derive their motivation from the different components listed here. Someone can be very healthy and be happy in spite of not having a good career as they planned. Someone can have a lot of money but not health, but still they are happy. Someone is happy to be with family. They do not care about their career. They do not care about the vacation. Even at home, they are enjoying the time that they have got with their family. Connecting with friends is not a problem because you can always do that virtually, if not in person. So, what gives you that boost? What gives you that satisfaction that we have to address? Now, I would want you to share one incident when you felt dissatisfied while working from home. So we have had a long time, 1.5 years, right? So feel free to share if you want to, of course, it is optional. Any one incident wherein, you felt like giving it up and then not going to work the next day, not going in front of the computer screen the next day, and not being enough motivated to get up from your bed next day, whether it is your professional life or your work life, one incident that you want to share. You can write it in the chat box and I can take it up from there. No extracurricular activities and not, okay. Trying to balance helping with all, oh yes, this is like what I have been struggling with, trying to balance helping with online school and doing regular work, sometimes unrealistic expectations while work from home. These are the things that drive us crazy. Like, don't mind when I use these words, because these words only can define what we actually are going through, what we actually are feeling. So, when I am at home and my child has this school from home kind of thing, so the Teams meet that he has might be only for 15 minutes. The work that goes behind those 15 minutes takes almost 2 to 3 hours of my time. So, getting him ready, getting him to do the activities that are supposed to be done. And then, of course, sitting in front of the screen with him. And then, meanwhile, addressing the household chores and also addressing my professional expectations. Yeah. So, having too much to achieve within a short time. And yes, my child also runs all over me. So, many a times we might have had that balance, that satisfaction tipped off the moment where we all went crazy and we felt like pulling our hair out. So yes, I'm glad that you are opening up, you are sharing, because when we talk and we feel that, there is someone else who is going through the same thing, it kind of, eases out our pain, even if it is for a short time. Coming back to the presentation. Okay, so how did you deal with the situation of the dissatisfaction, and what steps you took to encourage happiness in your work life? Because work is going to go like this. Your child is still going to need you whenever he or she needs you, and you will still be required to, address the household responsibilities. So how did you deal with the situation of dissatisfaction, and what steps you took to encourage happiness in your work life, and of course when you're working from home? Oh, this is wonderful, Catherine. Catherine says that she lists 10 things that she is grateful for every day, even the bad days. That's the way to go. Being grateful for what you have, counting your blessings, and looking at the fact that you are still the provider for your children if they are driving you crazy, or looking at the fact that you are a responsible person at your workplace. That is why you are needed. Sometimes we have to stop and address that why is happening, what is happening, asking for help, raising a red flag, and saying no when you cannot give any more to your work, and saying no when you cannot give anything that is required at your house from you. So taking frequent breaks. And yes, I see some beautiful answers in the chat box, that modifying work hours to balance kids school schedule and work schedule, coming to a conclusion with myself that I'm working because of the kids, so making them part of my workspace. Yes, so that is what I did too. He has a parallel laptop when I am working. And Vishu says, took a step back, time to think and pause, engage myself in something positive that I love doing, music, dance, walk, etc. So these are all ways that we can learn from each other and implement. And of course, further down in the presentation, we will have more to discuss. This is the Wheel of Life assessment tool, and I had sent in a request to let you bring some colored pens or pencils or a sheet to draw this kind of a wheel, because I want you to remember this. Once this webinar is over and you shut your devices, still you should have something to remember what we spoke today, because today you might not feel that dissatisfaction, maybe tomorrow or day after, or maybe your friend needs that help. So we should be able to help. So my first question is, how satisfied are you with your life right now? These are the various aspects, the pie, where you have to mention on a scale of 0 to 10, mark the level of satisfaction in each dimension. And that dimension is finance, personal growth, health, family, relationships, social life, your attitude towards life, towards future, and of course your career. So on a scale of 0 to 10, mark where you see yourself, because everyone has a definite set goal. So today is the time. Just take 10 seconds and mention, do you see yourself fulfilled? And yes, how much on a scale from 0 to 10? And join up the marks around the wheel. I'll also do it here meanwhile, and then we will share the answers if you're feeling up to it. So are we done with the check? Okay, so anyone wants to share? There are 8 dimensions, and I rated myself, and I found out that I out of 80 I scored 67. So I might have given some high scores to myself, but I found that I need attention towards my health and towards the finance. So yes, so I know that I am learning to manage finance, and of course Wesk is helping me with that. And so yeah, so I have been completely transparent. Handling finance is what I am still learning. And for Catherine, social life drags the number down. She is down 58. And social life for Rishu is on the lower side as well. So the whole idea of, just a minute, someone's score is 57. Yeah, Rishu's score is 57. So the whole idea of having this assessment tool activity to be done is that you realize that where is it that you need to give attention. So today, when I give this life assessment tool a look, I found out that I really need to focus on my health, and learning to manage the finance well, learning to grow. How can I grow further? So this is what like I have to work upon. Similarly, if for Catherine and Rishu, social life has taken a backseat. So my dear friends, it is a time for you to find and address ways where you can boost up your social life, even if it is virtual. So make sure that you address this. And for friends who are not able to share it here, so whatever dimension you have identified that you score low, it is the time to take action, because it is our life and we cannot just sit there and let things not go according to how we want them to go. So yes, and I think this is Mary. Yeah, Mary has scored 53. So yes, find out what is it that you are low at. And if there are multiple dimensions that need your attention, then make sure that you are addressing them one by one according to the urgency that they should be addressed. So if, for example, if your family has scored low, so find out how you can indulge in family bonding activities. If you're talking about relationships, so which particular relationship you want to take up first? And you want to find out, okay, what is wrong and how can I, make my move towards making this relationship better. So find out what are the gaps that need attention. And then, of course, sometime later, when you have already worked on that particular gap, you can come back to this life assessment tool and reassess whether your action in one dimension has made you grow in other dimensions as well. So moving ahead, what is work satisfaction? Just a second. What is work-life satisfaction? So it is the evaluation of one's life as a whole, not simply one's current level of happiness or unhappiness. Because whatever we are going through, this all might be new and we are trying to adapt to it. But again, this is a window in the future, and also the kind of work from home thing that we have, it is also temporary. There will be a time when all of us will be going out as we used to. We will be going to our offices, our kids will be going to the school, and everything will be back to normal. Of course, we will have to reform, readjust, or just adapt to the situations, but that is what we are good at. We are humans, right? So we are the best at adapting. So this is not which will decide your level of happiness in your job. The whole journey, the degree to which a person positively evaluates the overall quality of her life as a whole. So in other words, how much a person likes the life he or she leads. So it is up to you. We just did a life assessment to find out where we are lacking and how we can address the gaps. And this will help you decide whether you like the kind of life that you are leading, or it needs some modification. It needs you to work on certain areas which you have neglected. What is the need of having a work-life satisfaction? Why do you need to be satisfied? So if you have satisfaction in your professional and your personal life, if there is a healthy balance, I am not saying 50-50, whatever percentage works for you. So the kind of satisfaction that you are looking for, if you have that, your stress will be reduced, your mental health will be improvised, and of course your mental health is better, you will be able to take care of your physical health, your lifestyle will be balanced, your relationships will improve, and your engagement at work also will increase. So when we are balancing between work and money, home and family, analysis and counting, meeting friends, strategizing, traveling, control and communication, and of course, resting and rejuvenating. So if there is a healthy balance, a satisfied person will be able to achieve all these in their life. What happens, and why are we dissatisfied? Why the balance tips off? Sometimes when we have financial problem, our work is not able to pay as much, then of course it is going to seep into our personal lives. Relationship difficulty, lack of assertiveness, unrealistic satisfaction, and being too busy because you are trying to make the ends meet, and therefore you are not able to give attention towards your personal life. And on the right hand side, there are causes that disrupt work-life balance. And when we are talking about working online or remote working, working from home, so if we have a bad working environment. And when I say bad working environment, it can be the kind of expectations that your company has from you. It can be a lack of personal space when you are working from home, means there is no dedicated space to you. And you just have to manage with whatever little area you have. And of course, with a family at home, you are not able to focus single-mindedly on your work. That is 49% responsible for causing your work-life balance to disrupt. 44% happens with poor cooperation with colleagues. So they do not cooperate because we all have issues going at our end, and things are so uncertain. We do not know what tomorrow will bring to us. So during these times, if we have supportive colleagues or supportive management, or the hierarchy, so that is going to help us sail through this difficult time even better. Lack of support to meet deadlines. Earlier in the chat, someone wrote that unrealistic deadlines and pressure to perform without realizing that every household is going through something. So that amounts to 42% of your work-life disruption. 31% is the inadequate work. So I agree, and even I face it, that when this work from home transition happened, so we were not used to having everything done in this manner. And there are things that we were not even required to do before, but now because of the online, we have to do many things. We have to add things to our portfolio, and sometimes it becomes too much. So that 31% amounts to your work-life balance disruption. So these are some causes which can cause your work life to topple. Then we have causes of stress due to work-life dissatisfaction. What happens that triggers your stress? Sorry. Less family participation. When your family completely shuts their eyes and ears to the requirement you have at workplace, and they simply do not cooperate. Does it happen in your family? Please write in the chat box if you have something to share, if you want to talk about. Sorry. Is there anything that you want to share? Because finding platforms to even vent out, finding platforms to even share, they are so difficult to come by these days. So feel free to drop a comment in the chat box, and we will take it up later after the session. Okay, so less family participation, limited friendship. Like we have friends, but even friends are going through many things. So that kind of limits our friendship. We cannot go out, we cannot meet them in person. So definitely, the friendship has become limited. Distance in personal relations. So when we have to stay under one roof 24/7, it becomes so difficult because we all have different personalities, different needs. It is okay, when you have different offices, you can go to your office and you can spend your 8 hours there, and then you can go meet friends, and then you come back to the house, everyone is rejuvenated, everyone has something different to bring on the table, and then have a healthy relationship. But with the lockdown, what has happened, that we are living 24/7 under one roof with each other. Different personalities tend to clash, and that amounts to distancing between us. Like if I am the one who is doing the household chores day after day after day, then one day I will erupt that why is no one helping me, why is no one realizing that even I need to perform at my work, even I need to rest. So that kind of distance seeps into our relations. Restlessness, anxiety, and of course, lethargy, lacking motivation to do anything. So these are the things which might make us dissatisfied in our professional and personal life. Benefits of work-life satisfaction. So what are the benefits? Like if you are able to acquire that satisfaction in whatever you do, in your professional life, in your personal life, what would it do for you? It will make your work organized, whether it is personal or professional. Your life will be more organized. You will have 6 hands, like she has in the picture, and you will be able to do all what she does, and then you will still look pretty, right? So that is the thing. We want to do everything, and we want to have as many hands possible. And not to forget, we want to look pretty every time. So if you have a satisfied professional life, a satisfied personal life, your work will be increased, organized, your productivity will be increased, your family will have a better atmosphere. The aura of your house will be better, will be positive, will be happy. Just if we change your perception towards having a satisfied work and life, improved morale. So you will be boosting your own self. Factors affecting our satisfaction towards work and life. So, as I said, everyone has a different journey. We might be sailing in the same boat, but we are not going at one destination. We have our goals aligned differently. Our journey is different. The baggage that we carry, it is different. The stop that we will get down at, it is different. So, what factors affect the degree of satisfaction? Like, I can be satisfied in my work and in my life according to my personality, according to the self esteem that I have, according to the my outlook of life, according to the life events and experiences happening in my life, my personal values. What are my attitudes towards work, towards life, towards family? What is my family comprised of? How cooperative they are to me, and how loving I am to them, and my career. So, what this means for me might not appeal to you. So, first thing, do not look at others' life and start questioning your journey. Because if we look at others' life and we start questioning our journey, it is not fair, because we do not know what that other person has gone through and what that other person is going through. The only thing we know, where that person is at this moment, what he or she has achieved, and I have still not achieved that. So when we look at someone who is more successful than us, so imagine yourself opening a book. So if a book has 100 pages and you open the book at page number 40, you missed the journey from page number 1 to page number 39. And that is very important in building up the story at what it is on page number 40. So if we see someone's life at page number 40, we are ignoring all the hardships, all the challenges, all the sacrifices that person has made from page number 1 to page number 39. And what we are seeing, the achievements at page number 40, the success, the health, the loving family at page number 40. And we start to question our life. I don't have that kind of family. What happened to my career? And there is when our outlook towards life starts to become stressed, because we are looking at what others have achieved and I am lacking. So always remember that your satisfaction towards your own personal and professional life will come from all of these, not from what others are doing or what they have achieved. 6 components of work-life balance. How can you attain that balance? So it is, the 6 components are self-management. First of all, manage your own self. Then manage the time, manage the stress, manage the change that is happening around us. Manage the technology, having something to do in your free time, actually having free time when you are at home. That is the biggest challenge. So we need to divide our work and life in these components and then try to manage them one by one, starting with self-management. So there is a whole, concept of self-compassion where I love myself for the sake of others who I love, because I cannot pour from empty cup. For example, I have this bottle here, and if I have to pour water, and I will be able to pour only this much because it is only a little water here. So I will be able to pour, and once the water finishes, then I cannot pour anything. See, this is empty. I cannot pour anything. Similarly, when I am lacking love, when I am lacking care, when I am lacking empathy, compassion, how am I going to give it to the ones I love? So that is the reason we all should start with loving ourselves first. So there is where self-management has a role to play. At least doing one thing a day that gives you that kind of love to fill yourself up, so that you can give love to your children, you can give love to your colleagues, you can give love to your friends, and your life will become fulfilling. Time management, of course, everyone on this planet has 24 hours to play with. How we decide to play with it is the beauty. Stress management, there are so many ways with which we can combat the stress, and there is a whole other webinar on that. So how you can identify the triggers that make you stressful, and then address it. Managing the change, adapting the change, turning challenges into opportunities for growth and success. And technology management, because with the advent of technology in almost every field now, it has become so important to embrace technology. So if you haven't done it as yet, according to your convenience, according to your requirement, according to the access that you have, start doing it now. And of course, do something for your leisure, even if it is only a cup of green tea and 15 minutes of quiet. Whatever works for you, at least indulge in some leisure. Next is, sorry. For achieving a healthy work-life balance, establish boundaries. Boundaries between your work and your personal life. Allot a quiet space for yourself. Unplug from work. Do not just keep on thinking about work, work, and work. Allocate your time, make a schedule, make a timetable wherein you will be doing different activities according to your requirements at work and according to your requirements in your family. Listen to and love yourself. Listen what your body tells you. If you feel sick, take a break. If you're not feeling up to it, take a break. So listen to and love yourself. So 10 essential work-life balance tips. First of all, set realistic expectations, because these are not normal times. Set realistic expectations. Do not expect the world from you. Expect only what you can do, right? Plan in days off. Work smarter, not harder. Sometimes hard work doesn't bring result, but smart work does. So do according to the demand of the situation. Be flexible, because as I said, these are uncertain times. So we have to be flexible enough. Today your children might be going to the school, but tomorrow they might not. So be flexible with your schedule, and be present in whatever you are doing. Make time to unplug. Make you a priority. Ask for help. Have a dedicated workspace. Outsource if you can. If you want, click a picture of this slide. You might need it later. So the next is break the rules. Break the rules. If you keep yourself at the end of the line, break the rule and come in front. You require that. Train your mind to see, when do you need to react. Not everything requires your reaction. So when you are at home and your children are playing and they break something, see if it requires your reaction. Because if you are reacting on everything, it is going to add to your stress. Filter. What do you need to react to? Be patient, be accountable, outdo yourself, stack the deck, speak last. So listen to what everyone has to say whenever there is a good discussion, or whenever there is an conversation in the family, let everyone speak. And when you listen to them, listen with a view to understand what they are saying, not with the view to reply. Be authentic in your communication, be truthful, find your passion, and start with why. So if you are doing something, why you are doing that? Does it have value? Does it have worth? So if you are even scolding your child, why am I scolding my daughter or my son? So asking questions to yourself, whether what you are doing, whether are you doing it right or not. So sometimes being mindful in the situation also helps a lot. How to achieve work-life satisfaction while working from home? Let go of perfection. Like sometimes we expect a lot from us. So let go of perfection. Exercise, get that blood moving, that oxygen moving in your body, whatever works for you. If you can go out, if it is permitted to go out, then go out, soak up the sun, go for a walk. Or if you are at home, then yoga, meditation, or even mindful breathing. That will help you. The mindful breathing is the rule of four. Like you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, you exhale your breath for 4 seconds, and then you repeat this cycle 4 times. So this will take only 1 minute of your time, and you can do it any time of the day. If mornings you are busy, you forgot, or anything happened, just do it any number of times, any time of the day. And when you breathe, inhaling is important, but what is equally important is exhaling. When we exhale, we empty out our lungs to be able to fill them up with fresh air. So when we are not emptying our lungs fully, then we are not soaking up fresh air fully. So exhale and inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Have a morning routine. So when I say morning routine, because I cannot have you talk to me directly. So if you want, please share in the chat box what is your morning routine. I will tell you mine meanwhile. So what I do when I get up in the morning, I do not look at the phone. This is a conscious move. I have stopped looking at my phone. I do not look at my phone for 30 minutes, because the moment I get up, that time is for me, and whole day I have to be in front of a device, whether it is a phone, whether it is a laptop, or whether it is a TV. I will be in front of the device. So what I do for first 30 minutes, I do not look at the phone. I get up, I do this mindful breathing for 1 minute, then I light a lamp, and then I put on a calming music. I also light some incense. So this is how I set the aura of the house. This is what I do, so that when everyone wakes up slowly, they are not waking up into something which might stress them, something, they are waking up to something positive. So I am trying to appeal to different senses that I have. So when I breathe, I have inhaled oxygen. When I light up the lamp, it is like removing all the negative energy. And my conscious move to start the day with a promise to be happy and to be productive. Productive is subjective. Productive means like having able to cruise through the day peacefully and with a smile on my face. By productive, I do not mean finishing that task at work. By productive, I do not mean making 2 dishes in lunch. I do not mean that. Productive means a happy day. So that is the promise that I make while I light that lamp. And when I switch on the music, I am appealing to my family members' mind, because when we wake up to calming music, the aura set in the morning is positive. And when I light incense, again, it is going to set my house into a positive and calm aura. Eating proper food. So does anyone else want to share, what do you do? One thing to set the aura of the house. One thing that you do to set the aura of the house. Okay, so maybe like if you are not doing anything, then you can start doing it from now on. Eating proper food and planning post-work activity. What we do, we plan our work, but we forget to plan what we will be doing after work. So if you have something in mind, start planning and just plan that what I'm going to do in my free time. It can be with your family, it can be with your children, it can be connecting virtually with your friends. Because I see that many people are not able to go out and they are lacking social life. So we can address that by connecting virtually. And Catherine says that in the morning she starts by making her bed. A good achievement, Catherine. I'm still helping myself to work with that. And Rishu says opening the blinds and letting the sun in. Wow, wonderful. And being thankful for another beautiful morning. So your morning routine doesn't have to be as fancy as someone else's, but whatever sets you in the morning with the positivity will work. But have a morning routine. Now, this is a brainstorming activity, and I would want you to drop the answers in the chat box. I have an important presentation tomorrow. I started working on the presentation, but suddenly my friends, not his friends, came for dinner. So discuss how can I promote work-life balance in such situation. So I can say that I have an important presentation tomorrow, but there is a social call and virtual call with friends. So what should I do? How am I going to manage work and life here? Because I have not seen my friends in a while, and this is the time where I can log into the Zoom call and see my friends, chat with them. And on the other hand, I have a presentation to make. So do you have any suggestions how we can help this? Any suggestions? Yes, I can see 2 suggestions. Give yourself, Jackie says, give yourself a specific amount of time to visit with friends. Wonderful. And I would do both, start with friends and then excuse myself. So yes, both are wonderful options. So what I liked about the option is that, you addressed the problem. You did not just shut off that like I am how will I manage. You did not stress out, but yes, you have a solution handy. So that is what will help you trying to make a balance with whatever with whatever works for you. And Rishu says asking for help to entertain friends while I finish my presentation, join them as soon as I am done. So finding a way to balance the both. So we have 3 different options given by 3 different participants, all beautiful because you know what works for you best. I cannot comment. I cannot say this is right or that is wrong. It is what you want to do. So, but having a plan in place is what important. The problem may change, right? So today it is friends, tomorrow it can be your children, anything. Anytime, any problem can come up. So that is why I want you to achieve work-life satisfaction, not work-life balance. I do not know for how long you haven't seen your friends. So how can I say that you need to finish the presentation first? And I do not know how important is the presentation. So that is why I cannot say go see your friends. So, it is you who will decide that how much time am I going to give on the presentation, or am I going to be with my friends and come back to the presentation later. And, we all are well educated, we all are learned, experienced, and we know how to deal with things. And we will, of course, make a balance between the personal and professional life. So what I do not want to do is carry the stress of maintaining that balance. It is okay if you are not balanced out. What is important is your satisfaction, your happiness. So if you are satisfied today by spending time on your professional life, then tomorrow you can make it up by spending little extra time on your personal commitments. So it is not that every day you have to make it 50-50. It is up to you how you feel satisfied. How to remain calm while work from home? Stay connected. So I have seen many of us are lacking social interaction. So this is why I'm advising stay connected, whether it is playing a virtual game, checking in on a neighbor, or having a video chat with your friends. Be active and take care of yourself. Exercise, eat well, and get enough sleep. Take time to engage virtually or by phone with friends, family, and loved ones. Something new, try a new hobby, or take an online course. Help someone else. Doing good can feel good. As I said, everyone has their challenges, and there are people who might have greater challenges than us, and everyone can help someone. So if you know anyone that is in need of help, so with whatever you can help, make sure that you are helping. Reach out for help. As much it is good to offer help, it is equally good to ask for help. So reach out. If you want help, reach out. Talk to someone you trust or seek professional support. 5 tips for staying healthy while working from home. This is very important because this is going to go for longer than what we thought. Find a calm space. You should have a dedicated corner. Even a small corner in your home will help you find that calm, because the exercise of setting up a workstation every day, and the exercise of wrapping up the workstation after that, managing your papers, where your children are working, it becomes a task. So identify a designated quiet workspace, and consider wearing headphones to tune out potential distractions. Of course you do that. So find out a dedicated corner, even if it is a small one, doesn't matter. Take breaks. Take frequent breaks during the day and get away from your desk for a few minutes every hour or so. It is important to take care of your health, and sitting in front of the screen 8 hours at a stretch is not good for your posture. So take breaks. Stay clean, of course. Wash your hands often. Use sanitizer. Keep your desk workplace clean and free of germs. Improve ergonomics. So, because we are working from home, some of us might have found it convenient to take the laptop on our beds and then work on the bed, or take a chair where you are slouching and you are trying to work, and the laptop which doesn't allow you to, where you have pain here in the wrist. So make sure that you are addressing these issues because they are good for your long-term posture. Improve ergonomics. Adjust your chair so that your knees are level with your hips and your monitor is near eye level. Eat well and hydrate. Even when we are at home, we often skip our meals because we are at home and then we have to manage so many things together. The first thing that we miss is our food and our exercise. So make sure that you are not missing out on any of these. Another way is to maintain that balance. Donate expertise or finances to those in need. Find a mentor to provide advice and insight. As I said, talk, and talk. And it necessarily doesn't have to be someone from your workplace, someone senior, anyone who you feel you can talk to. But talking out is very important in this time. Plan your vacation and days off in advance. So whenever you have days off coming up, plan them well. Prioritize your top tasks and do them first. So you need to prioritize, pick and prioritize what you have to do. Take time to rest both mentally and physically. Add exercise as a part of your daily routine. So because we juggle between so many things during a day, finding out time to plan your day so that you can achieve more in those 24 hours is the key. The art of work-life satisfaction. Turn off your work, email, nights, weekends. Give yourself boundaries. Make plans with family and friends. Figure out what works for you and stick with it. And redefining work-life balance. and turning it into satisfaction in work and life. Work and life doesn't have to be compartmentalized. As I said, because you are working from home, the boundaries are already blurred. So you also should not compartmentalize work and life. Working from the beach is entirely overrated and overhyped. This means that everyone is working from home, everyone is having struggles working from home. So do not isolate yourself in thinking that I am the only one who is suffering. Working hard is a-okay, but working smart is better. It is our responsibility to create our own boundaries. So you have to when you have to unplug, when you have to take a break. Decide at what point we have and are enough. So make sure that you are the one who decides what works for you and what doesn't. Work life balance is about creating a life that flows with you rather than a life you have to power through. So your a healthy balanced life professionally and personally, it will flow and you will be flowing with it. If there is anything that you need to address, you can address that. But if there is a life where you have to power, where you have to struggle, it becomes a little challenging. So try to find that satisfaction. So dear friends, this is the end of my presentation, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the question and answer box. Thank you very much for coming in, Jackie and Mary. I think they have to go.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. It was super interactive, and I was answering the questions in the background as you were
Oh,
popping up
okay.
the little ones there. They were awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone in attendance for joining us today. Don't forget to check west.ca/webinars to see our upcoming webinars for this month. We also have our summit and our summit gala this month. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, make sure to get them. But other than that, I will now end this webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye.